Okay, hey everybody. I'm here with Coach Inslee, and we're going to talk about his hands and pass protection course. This is some pretty cool stuff here that I thought you could maybe just watch with us and give us your feedback on, Coach. So I'm going to get it started right here. This is the pummel
of hands and pass pro. We're going to talk about the clinch. And it's important to realize that no matter how you protect or what range you're in, you're going to get into some type of clinch.
What's a clinch, Coach? I'm not an O-line coach, so fill me in.
Yeah. So, clinch is really, when you think about it in wrestling or MMA terms, when you lock up with a guy. So you're going to get in that same position with offensive line play as well with the defender. No matter how great your strike is, no matter what you do, at some point you're going to get in those close quarters combat position with the defender.
Okay, I gotcha. All right.
It's how you recover in the clinch and what you do with your hands when you're in the clinch that are really important. That was Bill Callahan that said that. Every offensive lineman is going to find himself in a clinch. That's what playing O-line is. Okay? And a clinch is when two guys are tied up together, essentially. That's why I think pass pro is very similar to a fight or MMA or boxing. You will always be in that position at some point. No matter how great your range is, no matter how well you protect yourself, it's going to get to that point. Now, it's what can you do at that point that's going to make you either a great offensive lineman, a good offensive lineman, or a bad offensive lineman. Pummel, the process of attempting to advance into a more dominant position. The pummel is used in wrestling and MMA to gain leverage and control.
All right, Coach, fill me in. All right, so what's the pummel?
Yep. So essentially in wrestling and MMA, when you're tied up, whoever's underneath has the control. Okay. So in wrestling, they do a pummel drill where you slide that hand in underneath and inside your opponent to gain control. And you kind of take turns rotating that hand in there and sliding that hand in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the guy that has that inside placement that's going to have the control. So when you're talking about pummels, we always talk about it as three different types. The over and under. So that's where you would, in wrestling terms, have one hand on the outside, one hand inside controlling the guy. And that gives you some control, but he obviously has a hand inside as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So in football terms, that would be like an offensive lineman having his outside hand on the inside chest plate and his inside hand up top on the shoulder pad, for example.
Mm-hmm.
A double under, that would be when you strike and it hit high. So now both your hands are over the shoulder pads. So in the wrestling terms, it would be the defender has complete control of you. Both his arms are under you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the oh no, and that's really when you completely miss. And that could be due to your hand posture being bad or your strike just went out of nowhere. And that defender really has both hands on you right away, driving you back.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the three kind of positions we work with the pummel.
So are you trying to establish as a lineman getting into the positions then? You're trying to get them out of the
it's a tool to get out of those situations and how to fix those situations. So in wrestling, you're going to rotate in on it. Well, in football, we're going to take our arms. So for example, if I'm up high, I'm going to take in a tight circular motion and I'm going to circularly rotate and pop at the elbow to get that defender's hand off the inside of me. So now I'm inside him.
Awesome. Okay, so that's that circular movement that I'm seeing you.
Yeah, for sure. And I talk to my guys about Mr. Miyagi. Wax on, wax off, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of that's really what it should look like.
Gotcha. All right, let's play a little more here.
I really like guys that here. Everyone.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Pummel drill in wrestling, double under.
Let's see here. Bump it ahead here because I think you've got some video.
Yep, I do.
What I want.
Oh, did I go too far?
Using his forearm.
Oh,
this is not like. Gives them something to think about.
All right, here we go.
So the pummel series. as we get started, the first one we'll do is called an over-under pummel. This athlete right here who's playing left tackle has his outside hand inside and his inside hand up on top of the shoulder. Okay? So this is not like the jab cross series where he has control of that shoulder pad. It's more like it's over the top and he has no control and he has to do something quickly to regain control. What we want him to do is using his lat, keeping his arms straight. We want a circular rotation right here to pop, and using his forearm, pop the elbow joint right up and out of that position. So as he goes, he's trying to drive his forearm right through the elbow. Again, attacking joints, not muscle groups. And right as he does that, he's going to replace. And what I want my guys to do is I want their feet to chase their hands. So as he replaces, he's going to step into it. So he's knocking that off and getting good positioning here. This is called the over-under.
Looks like he's got his arms completely extended outwards. Is this pretty tough to teach these guys this?
Not really. The nice thing about a lot of this hands and pass protection stuff is that you can do it in the off season as well. It's really good if you have shoulder pads on because then you can kind of grasp onto it. But a lot of stuff, I mean, we're just in a wrestling room right here, and you want it to be straight and extended because it's kind of like an iron rod when it's straight, and you can pop up on it and really go upwards on it, and that's when you're going to have the most force coming from it. Whereas if you kind of have your arm bent at all, you're losing some of that force that's coming right up under it.
Here's another example. Hand landed high up on the shoulder pad. Pop it off using circular rotation here. Do not flare the elbow out. And you can work the other hand as well. He just happens to be doing the inside hand right here. But he's going to drive his forearm up through the elbow of the defender.
That is quick.
The double over.
It's got to be quick.
This is when you both.
Yeah, it's got to be a quick movement, and it's got to be something you work on, obviously. But what you're going to get a lot of the times, if you have a guy that's bull rushing you, especially heavy to your inside, as you do it, you'll you got to be a little bit careful when you're in practice because you can actually catch that arm, that hand in there, and almost get a little bit of a hyperextension, which obviously we're not trying to hurt anybody, but you're also trying to discourage getting bull rushed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to be quick and it's got to be violent.
Sweet. All right. So now we got both hands up high.
Both your hands have landed up on top of the defender. Okay. He has both his hands inside you. Inside hands are going to win. Inside hands are going to control. So right here, the biggest thing with the double over is that you do one at a time, always starting with your inside. Okay. And it should be fluid. So it's one at a time. But as you're going, it's going to be really fast. I like to tell my guys, think about Mr. Miyagi. Circular rotation. Wax on, wax off.
Any reason why you go the inside one first?
Just because you're most vulnerable there is your inside. So you want to gain control back again with the inside as soon as possible. And then a lot of guys, when they first try doing this, they try to do both at the same time. If you do both at the same time, I've just found that it's less likely to land. We'll do that in the next one that we're about to go over in the oh no. But if you still want to have some kind of control. So if I have both hands up top and I go both at the same time, one of the things you're going to get is a big windmill, which you'll do that actually a lot. When guys start trying this, they do it in the NFL quite a bit. And you'll see guys windmilling it, and that's not what we're looking for. So you want to keep that control and go one at a time and then get the next one in.
Gotcha. Do you have any clips of guys missing on this one? I'm just curious.
I could find some clips of it. I usually try to, for the most part, try to find the clips that work.
I gotcha. All right. I was just curious. Because it would be funny to see an O-line guy do a huge windmill. I'd be like, he missed it.
You would be
now that I know
how many times, even at the NFL level, you see windmills. I mean, it's pretty common. And again, that's
Really?
not keeping it tight and keeping that circular rotation. It's flaring at the elbows.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually the time they're getting driven back into the quarterback.
Right, right. They're like, yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's see here. All right, I'm gonna maybe
And gets caught in there as this player drives up.
try and bump it up to the oh no.
I think we're close to it.
Okay, here we go.
Oh no pummel. This is where everything right here, I'm just demonstrating the circular rotation that we're trying to get here. Okay. So as we go, this is where you've missed everything. Okay. Defender is just bowling your face off. You don't have any hands on. You need to get these hands off right away. Okay. You're just going to pop up with both forearms at the same time. You're getting driven back into the quarterback. You need to stop it right away. You don't have time to do one hand at a time. You need to pop both these off as fast as possible. And then chase. You can do this with their hands behind their back, or their hands up on the shoulders, or hands down low. That's the one I like most because that's the position that you're usually going to be in, is your hands down low. If you're getting your face bowled off and it's happening bad, that's usually what is the problem, is that your hands were held low and you ate it right in the chest. You weren't protecting your chest like you're supposed to. And I do love training my guys in the worst position possible. I want them to learn how to get out of a bad position. I don't want to just do drills that put them in the perfect position. I want them forced into learning how to get out of bad positions.
Man, that's a great point, Coach. I love that. I mean, I was a receiver coach, and to me, it was catch every possible kind of bad ball you could and put them in every possible situation. So that fits perfectly because they're going to get in that situation.
For sure. You're always trying to coach them how to get in the perfect position. But at the end of the day, I mean, they're going to get in bad positions a lot, and coaching them through that and how to recover from it. And that's a lot of what the hand and pass protection. The first part is kind of how to get in a good position. And then as it gets going, it's how can you recover and get in a better position?
Yeah. I'm super impressed with this course, Coach. This was like 5 minutes of like one out of like 30 videos, and it's so in depth, and your explanations and demonstrations are so real and good. I think you're running a special on it right now. I'm going to promote it on my blog and website. So if any coaches watching this want to grab it, it's 50% off. We'll put the link in the comments below. You can get it. Also email it out to my group. But thanks again, Coach, for coming on and just explaining and demonstrating some things. And really appreciate you coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me.